Hi, I'm Steve, the Introverted Traveler. I've made it my mission in life to explore the beaches, deserts, mountains, and even cityscapes around us, and to do so while avoiding contact with as many people as possible. And although I will never hang out with you for any reason, I do invite you to join me on my journey. Come and see the world through the eyes of an extreme introvert. On this edition, we hike to Castle Peak off Interstate 80 near Truckee, California. Along the way, we will see beautiful wildflowers, visit our old friend the Pacific Crest Trail, take in stunning views, and then grumble about the existence of other human beings.
Check this out. All those damn people.
All this and much more on this Introverted Travels.
Greetings. Once again, we're back here on another adventure. And I'm back in the Sierra Nevada. I'm right off Highway 80 near the Boreal Ski Resort. And I'm headed up today to Castle Peak. Now, according to All Trails, our wonderful, beautiful, wonderful, great, gorgeous, whatever you want, whatever adjective you want to use. According to that wonderful app, this is about, well, I think it said 5 point something, but it's about probably a 6.5 mile round trip, out and back trek, mostly up a fire road. I will show you the fire road, and it's not much of a fire road. Apparently you can drive this if your vehicle is allowed to have that type of clearance, but I have a Prius. Prius is gonna get hung up on that rock and that rock and that rock. Yeah, Priuses are not for this world, basically, unless there's pavement. So I parked down the street. Unfortunately, unfortunately, there's people all over the place, as per usual. We are heading towards the middle of September. It is still relatively nice weather here in the Sierras, although I'm pretty sure fall is coming pretty fast. However, as long as the weather is clear, or clear enough for hiking, I am going to continue. The minute it becomes thunderstorms, that's when I, opt out. But for today, it's relatively clear. A little bit of cloud cover here and there, passing in front of the sun at the moment, but nothing major. And yeah, we're heading up to Castle Peak today. Apparently at the end of this fire road, the last 3/4 of a mile, we come, according to the app, scrambling. Very difficult trail, very hard trail. So in other words, basically for us, an average hike, because that's like every hike at this point. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna head up to Castle Peak. We're gonna avoid the throngs of people that I saw. I mean, literally the trailhead, it's a road. So literally the road is full of people. I had to park almost towards the freeway because too many people. However, I haven't seen that many people. I see their cars. I know they're out here. The evidence of the evil is here, but I don't see the evil yet. So I'm going to hold my complaining until I see people. And then, of course, I'll complain like I always do. But until then, we're going to have a nice little trek through the woods. Hopefully we'll avoid people. Hopefully we'll avoid, dangerous conditions. We'll make it up to the peak. We won't fall. We won't die. And it will be, once again, another successful hike. So, yet another one, folks. Let's get going. Okay, this just isn't fair. So usually, you can gauge the amount of people that are going to be out on a trail, the amount of people that are going to, ruin everything, by the number of cars at the trailhead. For this trail, though, the actual trail I'm on is a fire road, and cars with high clearance are allowed to drive on it. So I'm finding cars along the way. So in addition to, make sure I'm actually alone out here, and I am, but in addition to all the people that are at the trailhead, there's like little pockets of cars where there's more people. So what that's telling me is there's too many people out here. But that's I always conclude. Again, remember, the rule of introverts like myself, antisocial, socially anxious, severe introverts is one person, aside from yourself, is too much. If there's one other person out here, that's a sensory overload. If there's dozens of other people out here, that's, Dante's conception of hell. But if you look at where I am right now, I don't know how well the details of that mountain are going to show up on the GoPro, but it's absolutely beautiful out here. I mean, yes, I'm on a fire road, and I've been on a few fire roads lately, and frankly, I miss, proper hiking trails, but it's beautiful out here. I'm just hoping that these hidden pockets of cars aren't going to lead to a gigantic explosion of people at the end, because you know what happens when I reach the cool point, when I reach the peak or the waterfall or the volcano lid or whatever it is. They're there, folks. And that's what I'm worried about. Too many damn people in this world. Too many freaking damn people. Okay, so that's what the trail looks like. It's pretty narrow, and yet there's a car up there. I have no idea how. It looks like a minivan. I'm sure it's an SUV. I can't really see it from this angle. Oh yeah, that's an SUV. That'd be hilarious if it was a minivan though, with like this many kids sticker on the back. Like, yeah, that would be hilarious. Or my student is an honor roll, blah blah blah. But yeah, I'm probably 1.5 miles, 2 miles up, and I'm still finding cars. But this is rough terrain. So for those of you who don't own a Prius, oh, congratulations, you can actually, go places. For those of us that do have a Prius, yeah, we have to walk. I mean, maybe that's why Priuses are more environmental friendly, because you end up having to walk everywhere. Cool. I mean, you certainly can't drive a Prius up here. I can tell you that much. Half the Prius would be left back on the trail. But, all right, I'm making progress. And what I have not told you folks is that there is going to be a very special guest appearance today, because our old friend, the Pacific Crest Trail, crosses this trail. We're gonna see that in a little while. We're still below that area, but yeah, the Pacific Crest Trail runs past Boreal, past the train tunnels, which I visited in a previous video. So that's the general area where I am today, and we're gonna cross right over it. And I'm going to sigh, and I'm gonna say, oh, I wish I was on the Pacific Crest Trail, like I usually do. So let's keep going. So the PCT to north, Sierra City, which is where we were when we were in the Sierra Buttes at that cool lookout, which for me was a few weeks ago, but since I, can't edit worth crap and post videos a year after I've taken them, who the hell knows when you'll see that video. But at one point we were over by Sierra City. We actually crossed the Pacific Crest Trail there too. So this is the Trail to Oregon, right there. That's the one. And yeah, so Castle Peak, that's going to be that way. PCT north to Sierra City is that way, and Peter Grub Hut. As enticing as it sounds to go to Peter Grub Hut, I think I'll just go up to Castle Peak, which I believe is probably that right there. I'm assuming that is Castle Peak. That is the direction that the trail is pointed, and I've seen it the entire time as I was hiking in. So my assumption is we're going to go up somewhere up there. There's going to be 1 billion people. I certainly hope not. Let's hope that everybody's going to that Peter Grub Hut thing. Let's hope that the Grub Hut is that's the place to go, and they'll leave the peak to me. What are the chances of that? All right, according to All Trails, the path on the left, right here, goes up to Andesite Ridge or Peak or something like that, which I'm assuming is that thing over there. And apparently there's really good views over there and all that. But the current trail that we are on, the All Trails trail that we're following, goes to the right, which is right here. And this is the Castle Peak Trail. And my only assumption, because I know at least on the map we're almost there, so I'm assuming that this is probably the last mile, 3/4 of a mile or so, and it's gonna get nasty. Now, whether or not it gets super, super nasty, or whether or not it's just, you know, a scramble, still remains to be seen. Sometimes, and we've seen this before, or I've seen it before, I haven't posted these videos yet because again, I can't edit worth crap. All Trails will send you to places that are so dangerous that you're literally up against a ledge and going like foot over foot up to a peak. I ain't doing that. Proper grammar, I'm not doing that. So if I run into that, that's not happening. However, if it's just a general scramble, class 3 or so, and I don't have to drop off a cliff to my death, then I'll finish this. So here's the view so far. That's behind me. Over that way is the Pacific Crest Trail, as we've already seen. And up ahead is supposedly the tough part of the trail. So let's go check it out. Okay, just to be fair, that was about 2 feet of scrambling. I mean, I think I look cool doing it, but it was literally only a couple feet. Looks like I found the trail again. I think there's a trail that way too, but let's take the pretty one. That way. Let's go that way. All Trails is a little bit confused as to where the actual peak is, so I'm at the end of the All Trails map, which is right here. I went over there, and there's more. Amazing, there's more rock, but there's no like defined peak per se. I think we're at the top. I'm gonna call it at the top. I mean, I could climb up on a rock up there and say I made it, but yeah. So All Trails just kind of ends around here somewhere. And again, the trail goes that way a little bit, but then it gets rocky and dangerous, and I don't know what the point of it is at that point, other than say, hey, look, I made it 10 feet higher than you guys. So we're gonna call this the peak. And there it is, folks. We have made it to the top of Castle Peak. Isn't that beautiful? That's the Sierra Nevada laid out before us, at least this portion of the Sierra Nevada. And there's really nothing else to do other than, you know, do a few films up here, do some shorts, do some reels, do whatever the hell I'm doing, change my GoPro battery because I'm just about out of GoPro, and then go home. I might have trail mix, and it really, getting to the peak's not that exciting. You're like, hey, look, I'm someplace high. Ooh, beautiful views. Okay, I'm done. That's basically that. Every peak I've ever been to, that's basically it. So, yay, I'm done. There's the Sierra Nevada for you. All right, it's time for the 360. If I don't get dizzy and fall over and die. Here we go. Okay, we'll start over here. Keep going. Keep going. Look how pretty those rocks are. Ooh, look, there's a field. Oh, more mountains. More mountains. Mountains. Rocks. Other people, unfortunately. And we're back where we started. Wasn't that great and beautiful and wonderful with my commentary? Yeah, that's where I am. I don't exactly know what the exact spot of Castle Peak is, but we're here. It's it's good enough. Look how beautiful all this is. Another wonderful hike, folks. Okay, I'm switching to the headgear. We're gonna do the trekking poles. Check this out. All those damn people. So, I found myself a nice little high peak up there to perch on and to take pictures and video and all that. Well, apparently everybody thought that that was the way to go because they kept coming up there. Even though there were plenty of other places to cross over the ridge and to go up the rocks. No, because I was there, they're like, oh, let's go party. And there were a lot of people. They're all going back down now. So I'm gonna let them go down so I don't have to deal with them, but solitude destroyed. And it's just rude. And then of course, a bunch of trail hikers stopped right in front of me and started talking. Look, people, all humans, when you're out here, as I've said before, shut the hell up. Nobody wants to hear your mundane conversations. Nobody wants to hear you guys talk. If you have to come out here for safety in groups, do it silently. And don't come near me. Pretend I'm a hot zone of badness and just stay away from me. All right, we're headed back down. There's the views. I'm on headgear, so you're not going to get great angles. But yeah, that's what we're going to do. And all those clicks and weird noises that you're hearing, those are the freaking grasshoppers. And they're terrifying because they sound like rattlesnakes. But they're going off like right. There it is. Devil bugs. There's too many damn people up here. And freaking devil bugs. All right, we'll do our usual comparison. I was just up there. That's where we were. We were up there. And now we're back down here. We'll be back at the Pacific Crest Trail split pretty soon. This is the first part of the uphill. So I'm gonna get this done. And there's more people coming. I swear. Oh, this trail's gonna take it in the trail rating, I'll tell you that much. But anyway, I'm on my way back down. Let's go. All right, so we're back to the fire road, and we're once again back to solitude. Back to flies flying my face, and away from most people. For whatever reason, this part of the trail is golden. It's great. It's beautiful. But you get up towards Castle Peak, and so, as I said, there were people buzzing around me, kind of like the fly that just flew into my eye, and as much of a pest as the fly is. So, actually trying to enjoy Castle Peak was almost impossible. There were people talking. I'm getting like flashbacks just thinking about it. So, we're gonna do our trail rating, but I'll give actually 2 trail ratings today because the part that I'm on right now, the fire road, is not bad as far as people and so forth. There's hardly anybody here. It's nice, quiet. I get my peace, I get my solitude. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the hellmouth that is Disneyland on the 4th of July and the number of people that you would find there, an introvert's nightmare, and 2 being a introvert's dream, a 10 being an introvert's dream, which is Antarctica in the middle of a field, an ice field with just penguins. The number of people you'd find there is approximately 1 because it would just be you, and that's absolute heaven. So on that scale, this particular part of the trail is actually probably around a 7, because yes, you do see some people and there's a lot of people at the trailhead and so forth, but I went for long stretches along this part and it was nice. Now, up the Castle Peak, that stretch, that's going to be about a 2 or 3. There's too many, excuse me, I can't even talk, it upsets me so much. There's way too many damn people up there. There were mountain bikers who why the hell there are mountain bikers up there? That is a very rough hiking trail. It is not a mountain bike trail. And yet you got these idiots coming out of nowhere. And I told a couple of them, this is a hiking trail. You guys aren't going to do very well on the way down. They, of course, ignored me and did whatever the hell they wanted. But you got mountain bikers up there. You got people walking around. And for whatever reason, I pulled myself up on a rock, and everybody thought that rock, even though there were plenty of other access points, that rock was the way to get over the ridge and to get the good views, and so everybody was passing me there. Everybody was trying to talk to me. Everybody was making noise. It was awful. So that one's gonna be a 2 or a 3. I'll probably just give it a 3, but it was a nightmare. Again, I may have bad dreams about that for the next week. But once I got out of there, then the trail becomes more peaceful again. So overall, altogether, this is about a 5, depending on the piece that you're on, and of course, in a given point. But it was nice to see the Pacific Crest Trail. It was lovely to see the Pacific Crest Trail. And we did get some good views and some good geology and all that stuff up there. So given that, overall trail gets a 5. On the misery index, well, right now I'm about a 2. Of course, the misery index runs 1 to 5. 1 being not miserable at all, which is a fictional dream. I am always some level of miserable. And a 5 being extraordinarily miserable, which is usually closer to where I run. So on that scale right now, I'm about a 2. Up on the ridge though, up on the top of the peak, I was nearing a 5. Again, people come out here thinking that this is just like being in the city, that this is, you know, the humans have the domain over everything. So it's okay if they come and they, you know, walk wherever they want, and they talk, and then they're loud, and they break things, and they move rocks and all sorts of stuff. Once again, just proving, you know, what crap the human race really is. And I mean all humans. Again, we all know that I favor dogs, and there were a couple of dogs up there actually. It was a hike that you could take dogs on. Not mine. Mine would make me carry him and then, you know, apologize for carrying him to a place he didn't like. But yeah, there were a couple of dogs. I wish that they had taken over and silenced all the humans, because it would have been a much, much better trip. But aside from that, the misery index now is low, and I'm headed back to my car. All right, folks, it's gonna be the second time I'm making this segment of the video, because of course people showed up, and then a car came by, or a big truck came by, so if it looks dusty, that's why. But I'm hearing traffic from Interstate 80, which means I'm getting closer and closer to the trailhead, which means we're near the end of our adventure for today. However, before we go, let's do a quick recap. Well, I hiked up a fire road. I saw the wonderful, beautiful, lovely Pacific Crest Trail going in both directions, and I pined to be on it going in the direction of Oregon, Washington, and Canada. We got up to Castle Peak, and unfortunately, it was a hellmouth of people. There were people everywhere. They were being rude, they were being intrusive, they were being loud. In other words, they were being people, and that just sucks. But there were some beautiful views up there. I got some cool pictures, and there's wildflowers all around me, so of course I'm doing the macro thing as well. But for now, what I will say to you as I enter the sun and let the golden rays embrace me is, all of you out there need to stay introverted, because of course I'm going to see you in the next adventure.